The misunderstood invitation. The Zephyrian Empire had conquered 17 star systems without firing a single shot. Their reputation preceded them like a cosmic shadow, darkening the skies of worlds before their massive dreadnoughts even arrived. Today, they approach Earth with the same confidence that had served them for centuries. Ambassador Krullifax stood on the observation deck of the flagship Eternal Dominion, his 6 arms folded in what his species considered a gesture of supreme authority. His crystalline eyes, capable of seeing in 12 different spectrums, focused on the blue-green sphere floating in the void. Earth, such a small world, yet intelligence reports suggested it housed over 8 billion sentients of a single species. Fascinating, but ultimately irrelevant. "Begin transmission," Krullifax commanded, his voice resonating through harmonics that made the ship's hull vibrate. The communication officer, a younger Zephyrian with only 4 arms, scrambled to comply. The message was simple, elegant in its brevity. "People of Earth, the Zephyrian Empire extends its protection to your world. You have 72 of your hours to prepare for integration. Resistance is inadvisable. Compliance ensures preservation of your cultural heritage within our great collective." Krullifax had delivered this message dozens of times. The response was always the same: panic, hurried diplomatic overtures, and eventual surrender. No species wanted to test the might of the Zephyrian Armada. But Earth's response was different. At first, there was nothing. Complete radio silence for 6 hours. Then, instead of the expected plea for mercy or negotiation, a single transmission came through. It wasn't from any government or military installation. It came from what appeared to be a civilian broadcast station in a place called Chicago. "Yeah, hi," said a distinctly casual human voice. "This is Dave from WKRP Radio. So, we got your message. Quick question though, is this like a prank? Because if it is, kudos. You really committed to the bit. The whole surrender your planet thing. Classic. Anyway, we're doing a call-in show about it. You guys want to phone in. Number's 1-800, real." Krullifax's translator struggled with the concept of prank. His cultural advisor, Turin, leaned forward. "I believe they think this is humor, Ambassador. Humor." Krullifax's voice dripped with disdain. "They mock us." Before Exarin could respond, another transmission arrived. This one came from something called a podcast based in Tokyo. Then another from a talk show in London. Soon, the flagship's communication array was flooded with hundreds of Earth broadcasts, all treating the Zephyrian ultimatum as entertainment. Saturday Night Live is doing a sketch about alien overlords tonight. Memes are already trending. Have you seen the one with the confused alien? My kids want to know if the aliens have TikTok. Krullifax's confusion deepened into irritation. Enough of this nonsense. Deploy the fleet. Let them see our power firsthand. The Zephyrian Armada moved into low Earth orbit, their ships blotting out stars and casting shadows across continents. Surely now the humans would understand the gravity of their situation. Instead, something extraordinary happened. A single human vessel emerged from behind the moon. It was unlike anything in the Zephyrian database, not because it was advanced, but because it was absolutely ridiculous. The ship appeared to be cobbled together from various materials: solar panels, communication dishes, what looked like a retrofitted space station module, and was that duct tape. The vessel broadcast an identification signal. U.S. Chuckles, Earth Defense Comedy Division. A video feed opened, showing the human woman in what appeared to be a military uniform, though it was decorated with colorful pins and patches that seemed wildly inappropriate for a military officer. She saluted with one hand while holding a cup of coffee in the other. "Captain Maria Santos, U.S. Chuckles. Welcome to Earth space, folks. Sorry about the mess. We weren't expecting company. Though honestly, you should have called ahead. We could have tidied up, maybe put out some snacks." Krullifax found himself at a loss. In all his years of conquest, no species had ever responded to the Zephyrian arrival with such irreverence. "Captain Santos," he began, trying to maintain his dignity, "you faced the might of the Zephyrian Empire. Your single vessel cannot hope to—" "Oh, we're not alone," Santos interrupted, grinning. "Boys and girls, come say hello." Suddenly, Earth's orbit came alive with activity. Ships began emerging from hidden positions, behind satellites, within debris fields, some even rising from Earth's atmosphere itself. Each vessel was more absurd than the last. One appeared to be a converted cruise ship with weapons pods attached to shuffleboard decks. Another looked like a mining vessel that had been painted in bright neon colors. Several were clearly civilian craft with makeshift armor plating and weapons that seemed to be held on with industrial zip ties. The Zephyrian tactical officer reported in disbelief. "Ambassador, we're detecting over 300 vessels. But their configurations, they defy classification. Some appear to be recreational vehicles modified for space travel." Captain Santos' image filled the screen again. "See, here's the thing about humans. Ambassador Krulfax. Yes, we know your name. We've been listening to your communications for weeks. We're really good at improvising. Also, we have this thing about authority figures showing up and telling us what to do. It tends to make us creative." More ships continued to appear. A vessel that looked like a flying cathedral, complete with stained glass windows. A ship shaped like a giant rubber duck. Another that seemed to be nothing but engines trapped to a billboard advertising a fast food chain. "Are you mocking us?" Krulfax demanded. Santos shrugged. "Mocking? No, we're just being ourselves. Did you really think a species that put pineapple on pizza and invented reality TV would respond to alien invasion in a conventional way?" The Zephyrian fleet found itself surrounded not by a traditional armada, but by the most bizarre collection of spacecraft ever assembled. Krulfax's perfectly ordered battle formation was now interspersed with human vessels that defied both logic and aesthetics. "Ambassador," Ixarin whispered, "their ships are broadcasting something." "Weapons signatures." "No, sir. They're broadcasting music. Different songs from each vessel." Indeed, the space around Earth had become a cacophony of human music. Classical symphonies mixed with heavy metal, pop songs blended with folk melodies, and somewhere in the distance, someone was playing the banjo. Krulfax felt a sensation he hadn't experienced in decades. Uncertainty. These humans weren't afraid. They weren't surrendering. They were turning first contact into a circus. And somehow, inexplicably, it was working. His own crews were becoming distracted, confused, some even curious about the strange vessels surrounding them. The perfect psychological advantage the Zephyrians had always enjoyed. The fear they inspired was evaporating in the face of human absurdity. Captain Santos spoke again. "So, Ambassador, before this goes any further, we have a counter-proposal. How about instead of conquering us, you join us for dinner? We're thinking Tuesday. Frank's ship has a great barbecue setup, and Linda makes a mean potato salad. What do you say?" As Krulfax struggled to formulate a response, he noticed something else. Earth itself seemed to be laughing. Communication channels were filled with jokes, memes, and commentary from billions of humans treating the situation like the universe's greatest reality show. For the first time in Zephyrian history, an invasion had been met not with fear or defiance, but with humor. And Krulfax was beginning to suspect that humanity's greatest weapon wasn't their technology or their numbers. It was their ability to find joy in the face of the impossible. The galaxy's greatest joke. Admiral Chen floated in the command center of the serious business, which was neither serious nor businesslike. The ship had been a decommissioned cargo hauler that Earth's newly formed Space Defense Coalition had acquired for the price of scrap metal. Now it served as the flagship of humanity's most unconventional fleet. "Status report," Chen ordered, sipping green tea from a squeeze bottle decorated with cartoon cats. Lieutenant Rodriguez pulled up a holographic display. The Zephyrians haven't moved for 3 hours, sir. They're just sitting there. Oh, and their ambassador is still trying to process our dinner invitation. Chen nodded thoughtfully. Perfect. Confusion is our ally. What's the status of Operation Giggle? Phase 1 complete. Every human ship is maintaining its assigned level of ridiculousness. The Disco Inferno is maintaining its light show. The Flying Spaghetti Monster is deploying its noodle appendages, and the Karen's Revenge is broadcasting complaints about the Zephyrians' parking formation. Chen smiled. It was working exactly as the psychologists had predicted. The Zephyrian Empire succeeded through fear and intimidation. Take that away, replace it with bewilderment and humor, and their entire strategy collapsed like a house of cards in a windstorm. Aboard the Eternal Dominion, Ambassador Krullifax convened his senior staff. The War Council chamber, designed to inspire dread in subordinates, now felt oddly hollow. Explain to me, Krullifax began slowly, how a species that has barely achieved interstellar travel is making fools of the greatest armada in the galaxy. His tactical officer, Vrexgen, pulled up sensor data. Sir, they're ships. They defy analysis. One vessel appears to be powered by what they call a hamster wheel. Another is using solar sails made from what our linguists translate as beach umbrellas. Yet somehow, they're maintaining formation and showing surprising maneuverability. Weapons systems, varied and creative. We've detected everything from mining lasers to what appears to be a catapult system launching containers of something called glitter. One ship has weaponized sound waves, specifically something called dubstep. Krullifax rubbed his primary head ridge, a sign of deep frustration, and their military command structure. His intelligence officer, Xylan, looked uncomfortable. That's just it, sir. We can't find one. Their fleet appears to be coordinated through something called a group chat, and decisions are made by voting with emojis. That's impossible. No military operates that way. That's because it's not a military, sir. Based on intercepted communications, this fleet consists of civilians, scientists, entertainers, something called YouTubers, and a surprising number of grandmothers. The ship currently painting a smiley face on our hull is crewed entirely by retirees from something called the Knitting Circle. Krullifax stood abruptly. They're painting our hull. Yes, sir, with biodegradable paint. They left a note saying it washes off and that you looked like you could use more color in your life. Meanwhile, humanity's response had evolved beyond Earth's orbit. Social media exploded with #AlienInvasionParty trending across all platforms. Street parties erupted in major cities. Scientists opened betting pools on which human food would most confuse alien digestion. The whole planet had turned First Contact into the universe's largest block party. Captain Santos hailed the Zephyrian flagship again. This time, she wasn't alone. The screen showed dozens of humans crowded behind her, waving cheerfully. Ambassador, did you consider our dinner invitation? We've expanded it to a potluck. Johnson here makes killer empanadas, and Dr. Patel has promised to bring her famous curry. Oh, and the folks from the intergalactic taco truck are offering free samples. Krullifax noticed his bridge crew leaning forward with interest. He heard someone whisper, "Tacos." This is not standard First Contact protocol. Krullifax protested. Standard. Santos laughed. Have you met humans? We put marshmallows in our sweet potatoes, wear socks with sandals, and turned a cleaning tool into a dance move. Standard isn't really our thing. But you're supposed to be afraid. We command the mightiest fleet in known space. Santos shrugged. Oh, we know. Very impressive. Big ships, scary weapons, the whole deal. But here's the thing. We've spent our entire history expecting the worst. We grew up on stories of alien invasions, robot uprisings, and zombie apocalypses. When actual aliens showed up, it was almost anticlimactic. I mean, you guys don't even have tentacles. Do you know how disappointed the Sci-Fi fans are? Behind her, someone shouted, We were promised tentacles. See, Santos continued. Besides, we figured if you were going to destroy us anyway, we might as well have fun with it. And if you weren't planning to destroy us, well, maybe you'd appreciate the joke. Admiral Chen chose this moment to broadcast on all frequencies. Attention Zephyrian Fleet. This is Admiral Chen of Earth's Defensive Comedy Division. We propose a trade. Our best recipes for your faster-than-light technology. Trust me, once you try pizza, you'll understand why we're not afraid to die. We've already achieved paradise. The absurdity reached new heights. The human ship shaped like a rubber duck began circling the Zephyrian flagship, quacking through its communication array. The cathedral ship started broadcasting choir music. Someone had programmed a coordinated light show across the entire human fleet, turning Earth's orbit into the galaxy's largest disco ball. Then something unprecedented happened. On the bridge of a Zephyrian destroyer, a junior officer laughed. It started as a snort, quickly suppressed, but in the silence of the bridge, it might as well have been an explosion. What was that? The destroyer's captain demanded. Sorry, sir, the officer replied. It's just, the rubber duck is now wearing a tiny hat. I don't know why, but the captain looked at the screen and, despite himself, felt his mouth twitch. The duck was indeed wearing a tiny admiral's hat, complete with miniature medals. The laughter spread like a virus through the Zephyrian fleet. Disciplined soldiers who had conquered worlds found themselves snickering at human memes translated into their language. Warriors who had never known defeat were forwarding Earth jokes through their communication networks. Krellfax watched his perfectly ordered military machine begin to crack, not under the pressure of superior firepower, but under the weight of human absurdity. His second-in-command approached cautiously. Sir, we're receiving reports from across the fleet. Crew morale is changing. 3 ships have requested recipes. The destroyer Inexorable Destiny is asking about something called Movie Night, and the cruiser Stellar Domination wants to know if they can enter the light show competition. This is madness, Krellfax muttered. Actually, Gzirin, the cultural advisor, spoke up. I believe it's quite brilliant. The humans have discovered our one weakness. We have no weaknesses. We do, sir. We're not prepared to face an enemy who refuses to take us seriously. Our entire strategy depends on fear and respect. The humans are offering neither. Instead, they're offering friendship and snacks. A new transmission came through, this time from Earth's surface. It showed the United Nations General Assembly, but instead of somber diplomats, the hall was filled with people wearing alien costumes, holding welcome signs, and waving glow sticks. The Secretary General, dressed in a shirt that said, Intergalactic Neighbor, stepped up to the podium. To our Zephyrian visitors, Earth formally extends an invitation to join the galactic community as friends rather than conquerors. We offer cultural exchange, trade agreements, and our extensive collection of cat videos. We've prepared a treaty that includes provisions for shared mining rights, scientific collaboration, and a cultural exchange program we're calling Take Me to Your Leader, for coffee. Krellfax slumped in his command chair. They're not surrendering, are they? No, sir, Gzirin confirmed. They're inviting us to join them. And, sir, the crew seems interested. Indeed, throughout the Zephyrian fleet, soldiers were glued to their screens, watching Earth broadcasts. A cooking show demonstrating fusion cuisine for carbon and silicon-based life forms. A documentary about Earth's journey to space that somehow made their jury-rigged ships seem charming rather than primitive. A tournament called Intergalactic Got Talent, with open invitations for non-human participants. The final straw came when the ship shaped like a giant taco activated what it called the Fiesta Protocol. Somehow, it had managed to project a holographic mariachi band into space, complete with sombreros and trumpets. The music was surprisingly catchy. Krellfax saw his bridge crew tapping their appendages to the rhythm. His weapons officer was swaying slightly. Even his stone-faced security chief seemed to be humming along. Ambassador, Captain Santos called again. Offers still open. Dinner's at 7 p.m. Earth Standard Time. Casual dress. Bring a side dish if you want, but no pressure. We've got plenty of food. Oh, and someone's setting up a volleyball tournament later. You guys in? Krulfax looked around his bridge. His crew was staring at him hopefully. Throughout the fleet, he knew the same scene was playing out. The mighty Zephyrian Empire, conquerors of 17 systems, had been defeated not by weapons or strategy, but by humanity's secret weapon, their ability to find joy in the absurd. He made his decision. Captain Santos, he said formally, the Zephyrian Empire accepts your invitation. We'll bring, what do you call it? Salad. And so, the galaxy learned that while humans might not have the most advanced technology or the largest fleets, they had something far more powerful. The ability to turn even an alien invasion into an opportunity for a good laugh. The age of galactic humor had begun, and the universe would never be the same.